Hey, yo, what's the deal? Miss your boy Tag from Pro Wrestling Tag, you know what I mean? As of this recording, it is 6:49 p.m., August 21st, 2026, but the upload time to this is 11:30. You know what I mean? This is the first and only video of the day, you know what I mean? And I'm going to do a 2-in-1 because, you know, it's fun. You know, it's fun, you know, when certain topics come up, you know what I mean? Especially when you got folks who, you know, in promotions that they love running their mouths, right? And then, like, when you see karma happen, not really karma, but, you know, when you see things that doesn't go in their favor, you know what I'm saying? You start to fucking laugh, especially, like, with promotions that like to run their mouth, right? And in this case with AEW, I got two. You know what I'm saying? I definitely got two. And let me begin with the first one. So, apparently, right, there are a lot of AEW contracts that are getting ready to be quietly expiring, or they're on the verge of expiring, right? And they said a lot. So I think this is according to, if I'm not mistaken, I think Fightful, that said that, you know, there are multiple AEW contracts that are on the verge of expiration, right? And so when you think about it, you know, we don't know who these names are. Nobody does. Nobody knows who's a damn shorty. It's fun. Like, nobody knows who these, you know, I'm sorry, like, I seen some females. She looked mad good. But nobody knows about these names. They said multiple. So it could be a lot. It can be a whole lot. Right? Now, we don't know the names. We don't know the names of these talents that their contract is getting ready to be a wrap. Right? In the report, it also did not state that these talents was coming back to the company. So I'm going to assume that it's not only AEW talents, but it's also Ring of Honor talents as well. And you know WWE is going to be looking at, they're going to be looking at each and every single one of these talents, right? And think, you know what? We need to fill out for NXT. We need to fill out for AAA. You know what I'm saying? So fuck it. Let's grab. And that's exactly what I know they're going to do. You know, and it's interesting because this tells me if AEW is letting these contracts expire and letting them walk, that means that their TV deal is more than in jeopardy, like never before. Because just think about this, right? Just think about it. How is it that they're letting a lot of these contracts lapse? A lot. You know, they said multiple, right? So we don't know how much talents are their contracts is getting ready to just be called a wrap. We don't know. And we don't know who these talents are. I don't know who these talents are. You know what I'm saying? But this tells me that probably more than likely, you know, they're not going to be shelling out these six-figure salaries like they once did. You know what I mean? I think this TV deal that's coming up, right? It's either they're going to get a very low TV deal, or they might not have a TV deal at all. You know what I'm saying? Or if they do get a TV deal, it's not going to be with a major network. It's not. It's probably going to be with a secondary network. Now, I mean, like what we've seen with TNA. You know, when they went from Spike TV to somewhere else. You know what I mean? But it's very interesting because, again, they're not saying who these talents are. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's saying it. But the fact that he, meaning Tony Khan, is letting these contracts expire quietly, that's a red flag for the company. A monster red flag. You know, and again, I don't know who these talents are. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it could be, I think it's a mixture of, you know, NXT, AEW, and Ring of Honor. You know what I mean? So we never know. You never fucking know. You know, and then as I'm talking to you, I'm also seeing that, you know, and this is not surprising, and this is funny too, that, you know, AEW's the expected place for Ilya Dragunov to land. They're landing every single ex-WWE motherfucker. Every single ex-WWE guy that leaves the company, they're expected to go there. Right? Like, come on, man. Seriously, bro? Come on, man. But yeah, I mean, like I said, AEW letting these talents go. What the fuck is wrong with this thing? AEW letting these talents go. That is a huge red flag. Now, here's another red flag that I got, right? And it is extremely safe to say that AEW will never drop another video game ever again, right? So, according to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, right? Their sources indicate that AEW took massive loss. They took a massive loss in Fight Forever, right? They lost about 30 mil in the game. They lost 30 fucking mil, right? And they said that was partially due to the game being delayed from its originally from 2022 to 2023, and so on and so forth. End quote. Listen, the game is garbage, right? People played the game for about maybe a week or a week and a half, and they said, fuck it, I give up. You know what I'm saying? Because there's nothing exciting about the game. These motherfuckers actually went back to 2K. They went right back to 2K. You know what I'm saying? They went right back to 2K and were like, you know what? Fuck it. We miss playing 2K. And there was a lot of factors in all this. I mean, think about this, right? This was Ukes and, it was Ukes and Aki making a wrestling game for the first time in God knows how long, right? And so the project was very incomplete. They had glitches. You know what I'm saying? And that's why the game kept being delayed, right? And so here's another problem with AEW Fight Forever. What AEW did was they kept updating the game. They kept adding updates and adding different wrestlers and such. I'm like, come on, bro. Seriously, man? Seriously? If this was bad, this tells me that this is their first and only wrestling game. I hate to break it to you guys, but it's done. It's done. If you think AEW is actually going to be making Fight Forever 2 or shit like that, come on, bro. Like, seriously? Like, who the fuck we kidding? Speaking of video games, someone actually leaked out, footage of GTA 6. It looks good. It looks really fucking good. I'm not going to lie. But I know Rockstar was pissed, because the game was leaked. And I think there's a date for it because Rockstar's already promoting the game on their official Twitter. But going back to AEW, I mean, bro, 30 mil in losses. When the fuck did 2K have money in losses when it came down to, WWE games? When the fuck has that happened? That's never happened, bro. That's never happened, bro. Ever. The fact that this is being reported, right? That tells you everything you need to know. Everything you need to know. And, Fight Forever it's not a bad wrestling game, right? It's just more than incomplete. But they rushed this shit, right? They rushed it to a point where, again, people started playing it and they're like, fuck it. We're done with it. We're done. We're fucking done. We're done. We're done. Like, the community was so large and then it shrunk. For like maybe 2 people playing the bullshit. Playing Fight Forever. Come on. And then what makes it worse is the price. The price of the game is like, it's super fucking cheap. It's cheap. It's fucking cheap. The only thing I like about the game, the animation is fucking great. I mean, I do like the way how the animation come about and stuff. Everything else though is just, it's trash, bro. It's fucking trash. The modes are trash. Like there's nothing there, bro. Nothing. You know what I mean? It sucks. It sucks nuts. Yeah, but AEW is not looking good. They're not looking good on both ends. You know what I'm saying? So it looks like more than likely they're letting these contracts expire because they're not confident that they're going to get a TV deal that's going to pay them, high money. And also, this tells me that they're no longer with THQ. Because if there's money losses, I mean, bro, it's not a good look. It's not a good look for this company at all. With shit pay-per-views, everything is shit. The sickles is shit. What's funny? I actually put up a short last night on, how these grown-ass AEW sickos act when they see Kofi Kingston and Austin Creed at All In. Know what I mean? And these motherfuckers will actually do that. These motherfuckers will actually do that because they're fucking losers. They're losers, motherfucker. They're losers, bro. They're losers. Now, I mean, if you support AEW, you're a fucking loser too. Anyway, guys, I'm about to be out. You know what I mean? I'm about to continue doing my walk. It's fucking nice out here. It's a lot better than how it was yesterday, especially last night when it was pouring like a motherfucker. And there was like a big ass tornado in Queens, bro. That shit was insane. It's like a fucking twister, bro. You know what I mean? But anyway, guys, I'm about to be out. I'm going to holler at y'all. Peace.